Hi and welcome to Take Time to Create. Today we are going to work with these canvases that I found at the Dollar Tree, and they are very beautiful canvases. They look really cute just like this, but I am just going to pump them up a little bit, just add a little bit of detail just to make it my own. And this is a very quick, simple, easy project. I have a couple of these that we will do together. So let's get started. This one is very pretty, and oh, here we go. There's a little, I don't know, a little hanger on the back. So this is the top. Now you could make any side the top if you want to. It doesn't really matter. And I have 3 colors that I'm going to work with, and we're going to paint these. So I'm working with folk art paint, and I'll be using teal and coffee bean and antique white, and these 3 colors will look really good with this canvas. I'm also going to use this simply acrylic matte medium, and what I'm going to do, I have this little piece of trash. Honestly, it's just a piece of trash. I'm going to pour in a little bit of matte medium, and what this will do is it's going to make my paint a little more transparent. It'll make my paint go a little longer, work a little longer, and which is perfect. I'll pour in a little bit of paint. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just traveled with this one, so it was pressurized. So it's a little messier, but that's okay. All right, a little bit of brown. There we go. I use popsicle sticks to mix these up. Just a little bit. You don't need a ton, but I'm going to do a couple paintings, so I'm going to mix up a little more than I need. I'm using the matte medium, but if you want to use gloss, that works just fine too. And the teal, these are such pretty colors. All right, so how we're going to start this is I am going to mimic the stencil that's on top. You can see that each one of these circles have a stencil, but I'm not going to use the same color. So there's teal in this stencil, and I am using this Waverly Inspiration stencil. It's giant. It's a huge stencil, but that's okay. I am going to put it down a little bit like this. And this big one has teal, so I am going to use brown. I'm just taking a little bit of paint, not a ton, and I am just going to stencil on. Now, if you want, you can use a modeling paste to have it stick up a little bit, and that's fine. I'm just putting a little bit on. It doesn't need to be super full. All right, just like that, we have some brown paint. Now, you can still see the teal underneath, and I'm in love with that. So what I'm going to do is wipe this off. Clean your stencil between each round, or you'll have brown everywhere that you don't want it. This little corner here is darker, so I'm going to use the same stencil, just a different part of it. And I'm going to use the vintage white. I'm not laying it down on the wet, so be very careful with that. And here we go. Okay, so I have these all stenciled now. The white one is not perfect, but I'm okay with it. And you can still see the original peeking through, so very cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is start to swirl with paintbrushes. And I have my paints, so get your brush a little wet. And for this one, I'm going to take white. I have the white, and it's a little runny. And I just have a small flat brush, and I'm just going to swirl around just to mimic what's already there. And I don't want to cover up the brown that's already there. So I'm taking a baby wipe and just kind of going over it, just to take off just a little bit. There we go. So now we've painted on with that. I am going to continue with all of the other colors. Just don't put the same color that's on here. So this blue one, I'll probably put white. And so just alternate colors and just to vary it up a little bit. Also layering different colors on top. I'm not using just one solid color on each one. I'm just kind of playing with it, seeing what happens, adding different colors. Okay. Oh, I'm really liking this. Oh, this looks cute. Okay. So this layer needs to dry, and while this layer is drying, we're going to move on to the next canvas. So for this super duper cute canvas, oh, I love this little zebra. He is so cute. I am going to add some watercolors and just watercolor the background because I'm in love with the zebra. I don't want to really mess with that. I'm using Prima Marketing Decadent Pies, and I'm going to use the two blues in this packet, number 35 and 36. So I'm going to use these two blues. I'm going to start out with the brighter of the two blues, which is the 36, and I have a flat number 14 brush. And I am just going to dip my brush in water, grab some of this, and I'm just going to spread out from here, and I want to have it pretty bright. And we're just going to frame, okay, we're just going to frame this zebra. And sorry you couldn't see when I first started. I had it out of frame. Isn't that the way it always goes? All right, we're just going to take this I didn't love how it was all beating up because this is an unprimed surface, so I wiped off that first layer, and I am absolutely in love with how that looks. So I'm just going to keep doing that. So take your bright blue color, whatever blue you want, with whatever watercolors you have, and we're just going to spread it on, and we are just going to not worry if it's super duper neat and we've got a lot of water going on. And then we're just going to take a paper towel and wipe it away. And I'm not really super duper neat with the wiping because I like that some parts are darker, some parts are lighter. It really shows that, you know, this is the sky and the sky looks like this. So, oh yeah, okay. Oh, I like that a lot. So I'm gonna keep on going. Don't forget to do the sides because everybody looks at the sides when this is hanging up. So now I have the whole background done in this pretty blue, and I'm just going to kind of jagged up the edges here just a little bit because it looks a little too perfect. We don't want it necessarily like a sharp line. I want it to not be as perfect as what it is. And we're going to come down on the ears a little bit and come around. I'm going to take a clean paper towel, just kind of mush it around, kind of see what goes on, happens, you know. And there we go. Oh, I love it. He's looking so cute. It's just enough to bring detail to this little guy. And then we're just going to finish him up with my favorite, and that is splashes. Just going to add a little bit more texture to the background. And I wiped off too much here, so I'm just going to take a little bit of watered down, not very much, just kind of dab it in. And what I'm doing now is just adding a little bit of detail of a little bit of darker. Everything else is pretty watered down. And I'm going to take the darker color, which is the one next door to it. That's 35. And I'm going to add a little bit of darker, add some water, just kind of around, not a lot, just like this. Now this looks a little dark and a little too much, and yikes, what is she doing? It's all right, we're going to be wiping off a lot of this. Just take your paper towel, and I'm not blending it in, I'm just kind of dabbing it off because I want it to not blend with the color behind it. I want it to show that it's another color. And I don't know how much you can see of that. Let me get this off of here. And of course, I will show close-ups at the end so that you guys can really see what I did on these canvases. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can see how there is another color. It adds depth and dimension to this canvas. The white looked really cute. I liked the white. It looked really cute, but I think I wanted to add more, and I'm glad I did. I think it looks really cute this way. So I add a bunch like this, then I'm going to come back with some water and move things around so that it's not just big puddles of dark blue. These Prima Marketing watercolors are so very pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take some white, and there is a white here in this Decadent Pies. It's number 25. I just have a round brush. I'm going to add some water. Add my white. Now I don't want my zebra to get splatters on him, so I'm just going to rip up a paper towel and set it on there, just kind of blocking. I'm not being super duper careful. I mean, it's okay if some gets on him. I can wipe it off. I'm just trying to help save me a little bit of work. All right, so I have a pile of water and some watercolors of the white, and I'm just splattering it. You can always do this with acrylic paint as well, but I wanted this softer white on white color. And now I'm going to take this darker blue that I used, just this darker blue, and I have a ton of water with it, a ton, because I don't want it super duper dark. I want it really watered down, and just adding a little bit of splashes around. There we go. So very cute. Look at that. I love the little zebra now. Look at that. Oh, so cute. Okay, so that's the second technique to alter these dollar canvases, and I'm going to show you a third technique. So the last one that I'm going to alter is this really pretty floral one from the Dollar Tree, and I've already started, and what I'm using are stickles, and I'm using goldenrod, and I'm just going around and emphasizing what I like, emphasizing different parts, and I'm not going to do everything. This is more of an accent. Now, if you want to put stickles on everything, go for it. I love stickles. I don't think the world uses enough, but go for it. If you're worried about how much product is in one of these little stickles, don't worry, there's so much product. I will link my investigative art journal where I showed you guys how much there is in one little package. Don't forget to cut it open. There is a ton left over on the inside. I'm not exactly being perfect on these dots because the paint will show through on the bottom, and I kind of like that. It's more of a boho, shabby chic kind of look, but if I was too perfect with it, I don't think it would work with this style of painting. Make sure with whatever color you use that you bring that same color to each of the flowers. So I've got a flower here, I have a flower here, I have one here, and I have some stuff over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some stickles over here, just like this. And this one I'm just going to do the lines, but make sure you take that same color and you are using it in all of the motifs, because if you don't, it won't look like they all go together. And for this one, I'm going to use the gold like this. And when you're altering things, I wouldn't use more than 3 colors or so. That way everything stays cohesive and you're not overwhelming any one of your paintings. I have this beautiful burgundy that I will use next. And the last color I'm going to use is this turquoise. There's a pretty blue that is part of this pattern anyway. I think it's really pretty. So I'm just going to add some pretty blues around. Alright, so I have added all of the stickles and the entire planet on here, and it just added that nice detail and dimension that I think the original canvas was lacking. So there you go. I gave you 3 techniques on how to alter these Dollar Tree canvases. I will put close-ups of the shots at the end of this video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and on my blog. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.